recording is started. And in the chat window, I have written already, we are starting the lecture again. Okay, so we are on the topic that default admin center we have covered already. The default admin center, we are here, default admin center, and we can choose new SharePoint admin center or classic SharePoint admin center, but we will just check new SharePoint admin center, and we can save. If we have already changed it, we can save it, but if we have already this one, then the save will not be enabled. For example, if we click on this one, then we can save, but we have already new SharePoint admin center, so we just close this one. And then the home site, we click on this one. And here, if we don't have already, we can set one home site. Set the communication site you want to use as the main landing site for your intranet. Setting a site as your home site enables extra capabilities automatically. Yes, and we have that topic also. I have included that topic information into the PowerPoint slides, and we can read on the internet also. There are a couple of benefits for setting the home sites. We just go through those quickly. Give me a minute, a sip of tea. Thank you. I have already selected this one. If we have changed, then save will be enabled, and then we can save a home file, a home site. And we can go here just to see the details that I have included some of them also in the slides, and we can see on the website also. It's from Microsoft. How we can plan, build, and launch a home site for our organization. What are the key benefits? Provide a gateway to other high traffic portals and connect people with an internet-wide search experience and showcase targeted news and content, and take advantage of new people engagement tool, Viva Connections. So these are the special benefits for the home site, and here we have some examples also. Example of a home site, SharePoint mobile app. In the mobile app also we can set a home site. What is a SharePoint home site? We can read here, and we can search the contents across the entire intranet. That home site has a scope of the entire intranet. When we search, it automatically searches all the sites, and the results will be collected from all the sites. Just like we can assume all the sites are like linked, associated with the main site, like a hub and associated sites. So the results of search will come from the entire intranet. And of course, this will be an official source of organizational news, because this is the benefit and the feature in the home sites, that by default a home site is set as the organizational news source. News posts that are created from the home site automatically become official organizational news and take priority on the SharePoint start page and in the home section of the SharePoint mobile app. But administrators can set sites as official organizations news source in the admin center. We can change also, but if we don't change, then the home site will be automatically set as an official place for our news and announcements. This can also, home sites can enable and customize global navigation in the SharePoint app bar. That we can also get the benefit of this feature, that we can enable and customize global navigation in the SharePoint app bar. Another feature is from the home sites that we can use Viva connections to integrate your intranet into Microsoft Teams. So then it will be integrated with Microsoft Teams, and with the Viva connections, with the Viva connections, we will have integration with our team sites. We have some prerequisites also before we get started. There are best practices also, that because a home site is used for the entire organization, the site needs to be inclusive and easily accessible on all devices. It's a big topic, and under each line and suggestion, there are like at least a large page of information that we can go through if we have some more time, sometime later, and or you guys can go through this information yourself. Like for example, this suggestion also has an other web page that will be see get ready build an accessible SharePoint site, that it has also all these topics that we can consider. But of course, these are considerations like best practices. And also, for the same reason, consider other languages that might be needed. Yeah, if we have audience that are using other languages than our default language, English language, whichever is default, then we can consider to include those languages also. Of course, the site performance is important because the home site will be viewed by high volume of users. So its performance should be better, because it should not be that with a lot of traffic it goes slow down. And this is just another best practice, that navigations can direct users to content on the home site. After creating your home site, replace the site with the current root site, and make sure the home site is discoverable by adding an entry point to the Microsoft 365 app launcher and a featured link on the SharePoint start page. News published from the home site should be relevant to the entire organization. Yeah, that is like just best practice, that of course whichever what we announce or make a news on the home page, that will be published on the main pages wherever the news is going from our SharePoint site. If we have some news feed or these types of things, our main home site will be the source of the information. Still, there are more considerations that align the branding on the home site to the overall intranet brand wherever possible. Of course, it's a good consideration. For organizations with many portals and resources, consider making your home site a hub site. Yeah, if we have even more like sites, those should be linked with the home site. That can be very nicely achieved if we can make our home site a hub site, and then other remaining sites as its associated sites, to expand the navigational options and easily synchronize permissions and branding across many sites. And if our site that we want to make our home site isn't currently our root site, and we want it to be, first replace your root site with the site and then make the site your home site. So whichever site we want to create our home site, it can be other than the root site also, but it's good that we create our root site as our home site. And there is another thing also, good thing, that use a home site template from the SharePoint lookbook card landing to jumpstart the design process. We can start with lookbook. We have experienced our lookbook, one website, one SharePoint site we have created already. So we can create this one also, the landing to jumpstart the design process for our home site. Just we go through this page, and then after that we will come back and start here at our lookbook, the landing. The summary of how to get a home site for the organization is a long one. I have taken that onto our slides also, information from here. I'll show you that also. Here, if we go to our site, see, we have covered this one, and from here when we start home site, I have taken that information also into the PowerPoint slides, and some of the information from here may be possibly to come into the exams, especially the midterm is the next week, just mentioning once again. The same pages that we have gone through on the internet. These benefits, the official source of organizational news, customizable navigation, global navigation, Viva connections, best practices, considerations, and sorry if you guys see here the links, but this is a picture, so we cannot click here the links. We just go to the first site, on the first page, first slide, I have included the link. So you guys can just go from there. Sorry, I forgot to, let me just put the link right here. This link should be there. So, plan, build, and launch a home site. Let me see if it's the same one. Plan, build, and launch the home site. Yes, same one. And here is the link. So then easily students can find from here. And then we'll be on the internet and click all the links, whichever link you like to go in depth. Considerations and summary how to get a home site for the organization. Since home sites are gateways to your internet, you will want to prioritize content and resources that are relevant to most employees. Work with business owners and stakeholders to organize and align the flow of information and the navigational design, and use the page diagnostics for SharePoint tool to ensure a best viewing experience. Next, set your communication site as a home site in the SharePoint Admin Center. And finally, use the portal launch scheduler to plan the launch of your new site and make the site discoverable by adding links to key entry points in the Microsoft 365 experience. Still, there is more. Before you get started planning your home site, hear from the Microsoft product team on how to think about and approach the design of your organization home site. Still, we have a lot more information. Plan, build, and launch. There is on the internet also. You guys can read here or on the internet. And plan for home site. Get organized, and start by aligning objectives with stakeholders and organizing priority contents and resources. And there is plan navigation, then organize the navigational structure for the home site itself and global navigation. Consider making the home site a hub site if we need to add an extra layer of navigation and to make easier to synchronize associated site permissions and branding. Personalize the content. Think about the different audience that the organization serves. Consider how elements of your home site, like navigation links and certain web parts, could benefit from audience targeting to specific audience. Branding assets. Start gathering assets needed to apply custom branding and other details to your home site, like logo files, color themes, and any custom solutions. Just to see quickly, recording is working, mic is working, and everything looks fine. So next we have consider site performance. Yeah, site performance, that our site that is going to be our home site should not take a long time while downloading. So when a user clicks on it, it takes like a minute to appear on the screen. No, it should be performance wise should be very good. Like it should come quickly, because this will create our first image to our audience. So we can also use health portals, and we can also use page diagnostics tool for the SharePoint to improve the performance of our site. Then we start building our home site, create a modern communication site. We can start from the modern communication site, or we can start, as was suggested before, with a template. Start by creating a SharePoint communication site and build out the site by using sections, web parts, and pages. Consider using a mega menu and footer to enhance way finding the things. Web parts that are useful for a home site include news web part, my feed web part, and Yammer web parts if we are using Yammer, and quick links web part. Of course, quick links is a good one, because on the main site maybe we like to link many of our other sites. And the highlighted content web part, on how to create a communication site. Yeah, modern web parts and customize your site. And next, what we can do, apply audience targeting. Next, turn on audience targeting on for the home site. By enabling audience targeting, specific content will be prioritized by specific audience in navigational links, news, and certain web parts. We can learn more about also here how we can target our audience and how to apply it. We can also create a setup page approval flow, but of course, this is a suggestion. If we have a big organization, then we can set up this one also. Then make sure the home site is set up for the regular content updates. Turn on content approval to ensure only high quality content is published on the home site. Then how to turn on page approval flow. Replace the home site with the root site. Sorry, replace the home site with the root site. If we have another root site and the home site is a different one, before we start a communication site as the home site, make the communication site the root site of your tenant. The root site for your organization is one of the sites that is provisioned automatically when you purchase and set up a Microsoft 365 plan. In my Office 365 is the same one I can show you. And with all of you, you will have one default site that, how we know that? If we go to our settings for our starting page, this one, this one, we will see one site. We can change its name, but its address, its URL is our company name .sharepoint.com. This one is the main site that the system is talking about. And but this we have ourselves later we can make it as a home site, but this will be the default site. It will be created automatically by the system when we start first time our Office 365 subscription. And here will be the name of our organization. And then after that will be, of course, it is on sharepoint.com. So this will be the site, the main site. And all others are, see, have their names after that. Site, then after that. Site, and after that. Similarly, all of those. But this one does not have site. If we click on this one, we can see its actual URL. You cannot change this URL, but we can just see the details. Copy the link address and then we can click it and see it, the whole URL. See, this URL is up to here, the same one, the main site, then sites, then ESC2 or any name that we give. But the main site starts up to here. That is our default main site that is created by the system. Okay, all right. So we were here, we were talking about the root site, the home site. So this is our root site that I just have shown you. And the next one, before you set a communication site as the home site, make the communication site the root site of your tenant. Yeah, I have already one. You guys also have already one. So we can easily create that one, or we can create another one and then replace with that one. Then we have to set the home site. That setting was not very difficult. We have done that already. Let's see where it was. So if we go here, see this one. Set up global navigation, then we can set the global navigation for our home site, and then test site health and viewing experience. Finally, review portal launch guidance and understand the main elements that will make your site a home site. Is healthy site. A healthy home site optimizes the performance to ensure the best possible viewing experience. Use the page diagnostics if we want to improve our site, we can use the page diagnostics, very helpful tools to make sure the homepage is healthy before sharing with the end users. Healthy portal, we can get here the points and page diagnostic tool for the SharePoint. Just give me a minute, please. Just a sip on the cup of tea. Thank you very much. We start once again. Then we can schedule also the launch of our portal. We have discussed already how we schedule, or we can publish it right away if our site is ready. And we can share the site with our audience. Improve discoverability. If we can do that, of course, the next is to make sure people in your organization can easily find the home site through a few different entry points in the Microsoft 365 experience. Add a link to the home site in the Microsoft App Launcher, sometimes called the Riffle. And on the SharePoint start page, yes, we can link our home site over there. And how to add a custom title to the app launcher, and how to add a featured link to the SharePoint start page. These topics probably we can go through later if we will have time, or you guys can go through yourself. And engage your audience. Then let your organization know about the new home site resources and other new elements like global navigation and multiple communication options like SharePoint news post that can also be shared in the email. And in Microsoft Teams, create and post SharePoint news. We have created already news and also the news posts. Then of course, if we have a big organization, we will need ongoing managing and maintaining our home site. When the site is healthy, launched, and being used by the organization, monitor site usage and maintain the site, of course. Site maintenance should include making sure that site content is relevant and there aren't any broken links and the site stays healthy and its performance is good. How we can also get help to see usage data and analytics that we have learned already before some time, and maintain your site over time. Yeah, of course, we have to maintain the site if we want to keep it fine, up and running, and informative for our audience. Usage data and analytics we have covered already, but they are very easy from here and very helpful also. That if we go to our site contents, and then site settings, Sorry, not in site settings. Here from the contents, yeah, right here, site usage, we can go here. So here we see the site usage and the other information. This site, because all sites are new, so we don't have a lot of data. When the site is already being used by many of the visitors, then we have more data and more insight here. And we can integrate the home site into Microsoft Teams using the Viva connections. After creating the site and after all the things are done, we can link it to also with Viva and Teams. And some question answers are also there on the website. I have copied them to get benefit from this information. That I have a new site. Sorry, I have a new site that I want to use as my home site. What do I do? As long as your site is a communication site, you can set the site as a home site. That we have seen already, that we have a communication site and we have set it as our home site. Let me just go once again and show you that here we can click, and here we set our communication site as a home site. What is the difference between home site and the SharePoint start page? The content on the SharePoint start page is driven and managed by Microsoft Graph, and content is personalized to the individual users, recent activity, followed sites, and content that is saved for later. The home site is a learning experience for your entire organization. It displays universally relevant content and direct users to other important portals like human resources and company directories. Can I integrate the SharePoint site page with my home site? Integration between the home site and the SharePoint start page, where the branding, theming, header navigation, and footer elements from the home site are applied to the start page, and users can easily navigate between the pages, is not available at this time. However, you can add a featured link to the SharePoint start page to increase the home site discovery. Let me just see, sometimes we have the date of publishing also on the document. How old or how new is this information? Sorry. Where I was on the, here. Here. So this is the November 30th, 2021. So not very old document. So only 3 months, 4 months almost, 3.5 months old. Fresh also. Yeah, almost 3, 4 months old. Okay, so a lot of information is here on this page, and I have copied to the PowerPoint slides also. Here the same question and answer. At this time, each organization can have only one home site. The question was, can I have more than one home site? No, right now we have only, Microsoft has provided the option for only one home site. Here we have more resources also, and resources. And this is a new picture you can see from the web. this information. And now before going to the next link, if some pages will not be completed into the class, I'll take them to the next class, remove from here, and include into the next PowerPoint slides for file. So then we can study them over there. If we completed all, then it will be fine. And on this page, we have, I just want to see further information. Here, somewhere we were going to create through a template our home site. Anyway, we have one home site, but we can replace also with the site that we can create from the template. This one, we can use the home site template from the SharePoint lookbook card, the landing, to jumpstart the design process. Before that, I just want to see if I have more pages to go through. This is another setting, notifications. And these settings, yeah, we can quickly go through these settings. These are not very detailed pages, couple of settings on each page. So if we go to notifications, we can go to our setting and then we can go to notifications. Here, if we click on the notifications, there's just only one setting that allow notifications. Select this setting to allow users of the SharePoint mobile app to receive notifications. If we click this one, then users can receive on their mobile app. And about SharePoint site activity, users can turn off, of course, notifications if they don't want to receive them. Notification settings and then pages. There are two settings on this page. Allow users to create new modern pages. Yes, we want to let them create. And allow commenting on the modern pages. Yes, we want to allow them to comment on the pages. So then the organizational, our employees, our people, our stakeholders in the organization, they can comment on the pages and improve the, suggest some improvements also. Site creation, what settings we have? Here we have two settings, actually one, but there are these two things included in it. One is just the text. Let's create sites from the SharePoint start page and OneDrive, yeah. And create team sites under. Here we can select a different name, sites or teams. And default time zone, we can change here default time zone for the site creation. And then if we change anything, we can save. The save will be enabled. Right now it's not because I have not changed anything. Just I can show you like, yeah, how the save is active. Okay, so this was site creation. Then site storage limits. This one we don't want to tap. It's automatically managed by the SharePoint. But if we want to, we can go here and click on manual that sets specific limits for each site. But automatic is better. If we have time and if we really want to, we can click on manual and then we can give the specific limits for each site. Now these settings were related with the SharePoint, and these remaining four settings are for the OneDrive. Notification was here also, and also from here. If we allow, then users will get notifications from OneDrive also on their mobile devices. Retention means up to what time. Enter a value from 330 to 3650 days to retain a deleted user uh, OneDrive. That how many days will stay in the recycle bin. So retention and storage limits. Here we can leave it to default, or if we want to change, we can change also. And settings for synchronization. Allow the synchronization button on the OneDrive website. Show the button. Yes. If we want to show, if we want to hide that button, we can click here. Allow synchronizing only on computers joined to a specific domain. If we want to click, we can select that, but if we want to leave other computers, if we want to accept other computers also to join, synchronize, then we can just leave this unchecked. And block upload of specific file types. If we want to stop some types, we can click here. So these were the settings on this page. This page is starting from the SharePoint Admin Center settings. And these settings come here, and we have covered them all. So I will just cancel this one, and still I have probably a couple of more slides. So let me see which settings we have covered. All of them we have covered. Notifications, pages, and site creation, site storage, notifications, and then these are the 4 settings from the OneDrive: notifications, retentions, storage limits, and synchronizing. We have completed our today's slides. That is good, because sometimes previous classes we were not able to complete all the slides, and then students have to complete them on their own. But this time we have completed all the slides and all the pictures also well before the completion of the class. So I believe all the students have completed the assignment with me. That's helpful for you guys also, save time. Or some students are not able to complete, then you guys can complete it later with the help of the new slides file, and also with the help of the uh, video files that I will upload in some time. That takes a little bit of time to organize those files. Before, I was updating them directly on the Blackboard, but then Blackboard was it is some quota system allowed for each courses, and the administrator told me that emailed me that you do not upload directly the videos on the Blackboard class portal, but just upload on that like YouTube or others, and then enter the share the link for that. And YouTube, it takes a little bit time, more time, and also before to create the video files, and then takes a little bit time, but I try to post them as soon as possible. And after that, but probably the best time, maybe you can check out tomorrow morning, and the video file and the slides file will be available. Then you can complete your assignment. This is just one page. I was also using the Epic browser, so I just have given here the link if you guys like to download. And site hierarchy is another setting inside the setting, site hierarchy. But it does not show anything because we don't have any subsites. If we will have subsites, then it will show the hierarchy of subsites. PowerPoint slide is completed, and we are left only with 10 minutes. And what we can do in those 10 minutes, we can just wrap up for today. And of course, the next class we have midterm. I have already explained to you, and in the slides also I have given the hints for the midterm. And of course, whatever we have covered, especially the most important source will be the PowerPoint slides. What we have covered in that slides, just go through those. There will be only 6 files, and you guys can see whatever is in there. And of course, it will be open book exam, so you guys can come back and see the slides, or you can search also. But of course, as I have mentioned, if you need to search everything, all the questions, it will be probably difficult to finish the exam. But each question will have 3 minutes time to complete. And 20 to 30 questions. No backtrack. One question completed, you cannot go back to that question again. So carefully plan your time. And thank you very much. And today, maybe we can complete 10 minutes before. That will be first time when we are completing before 10 o'clock. Otherwise, we complete the class most of the time 10, 20 minutes, half an hour once. I remember it was an hour after the class, but I recorded the complete video and whatever topics were there on the SharePoint slides. But today we have covered our topics. So thank you very much, students. And recording is still going on. And I will just ask if you guys have any question. We can see in the chat. Welcome and thank you very much, and see you guys in the next class in the exam. So be prepared and see you in the next week. Thank you very much, and I'll stop the sharing and mute the mic, and then I will complete or I just leave it open until 10 o'clock. If you guys have any question or anything you want to ask, that you guys can ask. I will be here. And meanwhile, I can go through the pages. Maybe next time we can start, or we can with the other topics. Still, we have settings, we have many other things to complete. And in the exam, there will be these 6 weeks included. Then next week will be the exam. After that, we have reading week, no class, and then after that, our class will be started again. This topic was about the shareable site, and here if I would have time, I would like to create one site from this template. Let me see if I can start. If you guys want to stay, you guys can stay, or if you guys have to do something else, then you guys can go according to your schedule. I'll be just here for a couple more minutes. So let's click on this one. And here we are. This is the, see, this is lookbook.microsoft.com. And this is the template for the landing, the news, resources, personalized content. And this communication site is designed to be the place where your employees can find the news and resources they need. Site features will be custom company theme, vertical section background, and mega menu, compact header background, and custom site logo, footer, which web parts will be used in this design. News, quick links, Twitter, Yammer, image, countdown, weather, word clock, recent documents, sites, highlighted content, and which contents will be included, demo structure, custom welcome page, 6 additional sample modern pages, news articles, sample image, and offer documents. Okay, we click at add to your tenant and see what happens. Sometimes there are some questions, more pages, sometimes it takes less time, sometimes it takes long time. Let's create the text. This is the email, and the title will be the landing, and the URL will be the sites, the landing. And we click on provision and see the process will start. Validation. This template contains the following elements which will be provisioned: news site, custom welcome page, 7 news articles, sample image, sample documents. Yes. And see the process is going on, and soon I hope so will be complete. It's taking some time. The process is still going on. Meanwhile, maybe we can go through more articles. I just make a duplicate, and on this one I'll go back. This was our main article. From here we started, clicked on the landing, use a home site template from the SharePoint lookbook card, the landing, to jumpstart the design process. So we are trying to complete this process. If it will be, then we will have a sample landing page in the home page. And in this article, we have completed these points. What is the home point site and summary of how to get a home site for organization, planning, building, launching. And meanwhile, I see if it is ready. Not yet. Okay, students, so I will just complete the meeting because the video processing only starts after completing the meeting, and then we can just complete the meeting, and then I will upload later after the processing files to the YouTube also. It's taking time.